Hmm. Hi, friends, family. Torcaso here. You know, about 2.5, 3 years ago, I became a member and an affiliate of a company called Motor Club of America. And I had a website and still do. The letter you need roadside.com. That's how it comes out. It's UNEED roadside.com. And it's a driver's protection and roadside company. And prior to that, I had been using my company, my insurance company, whenever I would get stuck or any kind of problems. And so, about 3 years ago, I happened to be in my insurance company's office, the actual agent, which is in East Liberty. And this agent, I wanted to try to lower my rates. And all of a sudden, he's looking at my records. And he gets really frankly, rather ignorant. And he says, "Why have you been using," well, okay, I won't try to mock him. I apologize. "Why have you used the roadside service 13 times in the last couple of years?" And I told him. I said, "Well, it's unlimited, so what's the problem?" And so he goes on and he tells me that in reality, it's not unlimited. And in fact, if you have it with your insurance company and you do use it, eventually, if you use it too much, they drop you. So it's deceptive when they say it's unlimited. So, okay. At that point, well, insurance company's lying. Boy, that's not so unusual. Then he goes on to tell me that, in fact, they use it, well, he actually didn't tell me. But I later found out that they use it to increase your insurance rates. And they use something called CLUE. That's the acronym. And it stands for Comprehensive Loss Underwriters Exchange, I believe. But it's CLUE. You can look on any search engine. And I learned that from being in this company, Motor Club of America, and I learned that from a gentleman named Devon Bankett. And when you go to youneedroadside.com, which the link will be in here, you'll hear him. And there's one other video there that may have interest to you, but that's not why I'm telling you this. You know, why I'm actually telling and sharing this with you is I've been using Motor Club of America, or MCA, about 2.5 years now. And so I've had some incidents with my vehicles. Well, recently I had a situation where I ran out of gas completely because my car had said that it was showing on the, I forget the technical part, but the gas gauge, I guess is the best way to put it. Then I still had some gas, and for whatever reason it died out. So I ended up getting stuck in an area that was hostile to people who get stuck. So ultimately, to cut this a little bit shorter, I ended up having to call MCA. Well, their subcontractors were extremely busy that night. So ultimately, they could not make it in time to get me before something else occurred, which is not relevant, but ultimately they were not able to get me that one time. Only one time. So now you're probably thinking, well, you were stranded. But no, I wasn't. However, what is significant about MCA is I sent them a letter a few weeks later, and I said, I ended up having to put out quite a bit of money because of the fact that you couldn't make it. And I figured, it's a big company, been around for almost 90 some years now. Write the letter, don't expect anything from it. Not thinking negatively, but you know how big companies and corporations can be. So Didn't hear anything from them. About a month later, I go to the mail. Well, they actually kept their agreement. And I received a check for $100 because they weren't able to make that one. In the 3 years, I probably used them about 6 or 7 times. And out of the 6 or 7 times, they've only not been able to make it one time. Now, I need to explain to you, I would have been able to wait for them, but I was not legally allowed because, well, I might as well tell you, we had a rather mean police officer who chose to refuse to wait until the tow truck got there or arrived there. So it really wasn't the company's fault. But at any rate, they refunded me $100. Now, I can tell you, I was a member of AAA for about 23 years. And first of all, they're not going to do that for you because you're only allowed about 3 or 4 service calls per year now. And matter of fact, I don't even know if it's 4 anymore. At the time it was. And they don't even really give you a whole year because everybody's membership at the time I was in it, towards the end, would expire on November the 30th. And that didn't matter if you had bought it like in January. You still had to renew. And so, at any rate, to get the best service with AAA, it was about $130, $150, which would give you a total of 100 miles, 4 service calls with up to 100 miles if you need it. Well, with MCA, it's unlimited service calls up to 100 miles each time. And again, it's unlimited. Now, before you start thinking, well, he's telling this story because he's still trying to get us in there. So I'm going to be very honest with you. It would be great for you to get in. And certainly I hope you do. Yeah, I want you to get in it. You need roadside.com. But now that we established that, that is not the purpose of what I'm talking to you about. Actually, the purpose is because I want to bring something to you. I have had AAA and frankly other insurance companies. And I have to tell you, out of all of them combined, I've never in my life experienced a company handing me over $100 because they couldn't make it. And the other thing is, has it all been perfect? No. The one thing that I feel that is a con, and I've brought this to MCA and I've written to them, is they deal with what they call freelance contractors or subcontractors. And there was an incident prior to this one where we were having the vehicle towed, because unfortunately it was a different vehicle, but it was for the night. It just wasn't working. And the subcontractor, which I believe should be terminated, 100% terminated from MCA, and I've told them so, and I've even told them in writing. Well, this contractor claimed that they couldn't fit myself or Annette, that's the girlfriend, in the tow truck. So they literally left us stranded in a very dangerous area that about a week earlier, or less than that, 3 days earlier, right where we were, somebody had gotten shot and killed. So I guarantee you most people who would love for you to get this service, they're not going to tell you the bad side. But I believe in truth above all, integrity and honesty. So when there's something wrong, I'm going to let you know. When there's something great, I'm going to let you know. Now, if you don't use this service, if you don't go for the $19.95 a month, frankly, I'm not sure that you're using the greatest common sense. And I don't say that to be ignorant. You see, here's the thing. I've experienced a lot of stuff, and I've used MCA in different capacities. For example, on December the 20th, 2014, I was almost killed when a bus essentially assaulted my vehicle. And one of the features that this 1995 service gives you actually is access to a free consultation with an attorney if you have a need for an attorney professionally or privately, business, whatever. So what happened was I called them up because honestly, this bus, in my opinion, was trying to, I don't know what the driver's problem was, but it was a deliberate act in the sense that they were not slowing down around a sharp turn. So in the capacity of an attorney, I called them and I received a free consultation and advice. As a matter of fact, I've used MCA for 3 different services. Now, I can tell you with relations to the roadside protection, I've had to have them unlock my vehicle one time. And as a matter of fact, I've had to have them, let's see, I don't recall them ever towing me yet, thank goodness. But they've been out a few times. And once or twice they had to give me a jump or a boost. But I'll tell you, outside of those 2 incidents, them not being allowed to come, which I blame the officer, not MCA on that one. The officer simply would not wait for them. He was, well, let's just say he was not nice. But outside of the one that happened in McKeesport, PA, with that subcontractor, which they don't have any power over that. At least not, I mean, they can't fire him or her on the spot. But other than that, they've never let me down. But I'm not going to lie to you. I just won't. The one thing that impressed me the most was getting that $100 reimbursement check. Because I've dealt with companies that they claim they have policies. And then when it comes to, quote unquote, cashing in or getting the benefit, all of a sudden there's red tape, as they use the word. They used to have a word called red tape. But they give you excuses. Well, quite honestly, I didn't have any problem. I didn't even know that check was coming. I really didn't expect it to come. That's my cat in the background. She likes soft food, so you'll hear her. That's Sabrina Midnight. And she just had her whole bowl of soft food, but she just likes to she likes to cheat and have more. Hey, there ain't anything wrong with that. Hey, if I was a cat and I like my food, hey, I like my own food. Shoot, you give me some chicken or watermelon or corn, I'll be like, hey, can I have seconds? Now, I know that wasn't relevant, but I'm being honest. At any rate, I had a company in the past that's no longer in business where I had an agreement where if my electronic equipment broke, they were supposed to give me a new one. Well, sure enough, it broke. This is in the 80s. And they tried everything they could not to honor their agreement. So for MCA to actually honor their agreement, look, I don't know what you think of the company, and it's kind of mute. I just know that they've always treated me right. Even when there was, mistakes. They've apologized and they made it right. Now, a woman or a man, or anyone for that matter, are going to have issues. They're going to make mistakes. But if they make it right, I think that's all we can ask for. And quite honestly, as far as you going to my website, there's an eye reading here. You think that, a lot of you may be thinking, if I go and I become a member of this company, he's going to benefit. And you're right, I will make a little bit of money. But that's actually not what's behind all this. You see, I've been on the road driving in 30-some years, and I've seen a lot. And I've experienced a lot. And quite honestly, I've always felt I could depend on AAA. I did. Until I learned the hard way a few years ago. And I didn't know the situation with the car insurance companies, how they well, let's just say they're not forthcoming. That's the best way to put it. With regards to this so-called unlimited. And they use it against you. So, my recommendations for you is to go to that's the letter U, needroadside.com. You know what? Just listen to the stuff. Read the stuff. Go and check out the tabs. And then I suggest you go into a search engine and look up Clue. Comprehensive Loss Underwriters Exchange, I believe is what it is. Or just Clue. Or you can put insurance companies Clue. And then I really believe you need to legally apply, because you're legally entitled, get your Clue report. It's like an additional secretive credit report. You're going to want to get that, because I'll tell you something. Just yesterday, I was searching and shopping for some new car insurance, because I don't like the price I'm paying right now as of this filming. And I found out my company, I'm naming names, yes I am. My company Nationwide is not accusing me, but they charged me for essentially what they call an accident, which I call an attack. The one that happened on December 20th, 2014, where I had a choice. I could either move or I could have gotten killed. Well, they're using that against me, even though I was told otherwise. And so I tried multiple companies. I tried E-Insurance. I tried Progressive. I tried Liberty Mutual. And a few other ones. Every single one of them is about $100 to $200 more per 6 months because of that Clue report, that comprehensive loss, underwriters exchange, and because I had that one claim. Mind you, if I don't move because of that bus, if I don't move, I'm dead. And my passengers are too. Look, I know this has been about a 90,000 minute video. But sometimes a person has to let you know the truth. And like I said, is MCA perfect? No. But are you? No. Am I? No, none of us are. But the most impressive thing is that $100 reimbursement. And simply the reason why it's not a lot of money in the great scheme of things. But I've read, heard, and seen a lot of negative press from about Motor Club America. If you go on YouTube or Google, all kinds of terrible things. But the truth is, they're probably one of the best companies out there. I know because I've used them. And I've used them a lot. And like I said, I didn't expect that money to come back, but it did. Now, I'll tell you this. With regards to the situation that happened in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Yes, I was angry initially at MCA. But when I realized that they're dealing with subcontractors and that they really don't have a direct hiring or firing authority, I did the best that I could. I reported it, and hopefully they shopped it around to whoever the dispatcher was. But other than that, I've been had service calls, I guess 6 times or somewhere around there. And I'd say 4 out of 6 isn't bad at all. Keep in mind, the last one wasn't their fault. That was the officer's fault. We don't want to go on that ride. Let's just say I'm not pleased legally and ethically. I'm not pleased with the man because there was no excuse for it. He was not serving and he was not protecting. Look, I'm out of here. If you want to be protected while you're driving and learn about a whole lot more benefits than I ever told you, because this is not a pitch video. It's just not. But if you really want to learn how it can actually help you, then I suggest you go to that youneedroadside.com. But when you go, I want you to study it. Don't just go just for the sake of going. Pay attention, read it, watch it, listen. Because there's a lot more than what I told you. And trust me, it's not going to be 85 minutes long. Don't worry. Look, when I speak to you sometimes, I'm not coming to you as a pitchman, a pitchman. I'm coming to you as a brother, an uncle, a friend, a father, a cousin, a nephew, whatever. Because I actually do care. I do. And as a matter of fact, the only reason why I'm in these programs or quote unquote businesses is because I will have my abundance. But more importantly, you will have yours if you put the work in and if you believe. You know, I can only tell you about something, but you've got to make the decision. Now, do I have confidence in you? Well, let's think about this. It's about 16 minutes after 4 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Look how much time I've shared with you on this video. Do I think you can make it? Have your realities or your dreams come true? Do I think you can make it? Let me put it to you this way. I'm not a man that wastes time. So if you're listening to the video, you already know the answer. But for the record, yes, I know for a fact you can make it. You can make it 100%. You got to put your mind to it, buddy. You can do it.